Look, I have a problem. This is probably one of the most beautiful islands in the entire world. This is Koh Mook. It's home to some of the most beautiful beaches and the incredible natural wonder of the Emerald Cave. The only problem is the weather's got other plans. Yes, it's currently rainy season, and that normally means fewer tourists, cheaper prices, and the occasional storm. But here on Koh Mook, it feels like the entire island has completely shut down. Hotels are closed, restaurants are empty, and the beaches are completely deserted. And honestly, I'm the only Falang in the village. So this is my video of me trying to squeeze out an adventure here on Koh Mook, an island that is properly deserted. Come on, buddy. You want to come on an adventure with me? Come on. Come on. Oh, not even the dog wants to have fun. Enjoy the video. Oh, bloody hell. Okay, so I'm currently on a longtail boat with a couple of my subscribers and some locals. We all just kind of met at the pier and decided to split a longtail boat. The ferry's not running today because of bad weather. As you can see behind me, there's lots of wind, lots of rain. It is the rainy season, guys. So I'm gonna go take some cover under the longtail boat and let's see if we can make it over to Koh Mook in one piece. Yeah, the journey would be short, but we had to navigate this crazy storm. Now, Koh Mook, thankfully, is not far out to sea. The journey only took 20 minutes, and the storm was just a small one. It was just bad luck that during our crossing, we had to go through a storm. In fact, about 5 minutes later, as we were approaching the pier of Koh Mook, the storm had already passed us by and the sun was coming out. And this is typical of the monsoon season, guys. 1 minute it's blue skies, the next minute there's thunder and lightning and pouring rain. You've just got to embrace this weather, because if you're coming to Thailand at this time of year, this is going to be the norm. I'll come and see you.
Yeah.
Enjoy your posh hotel. Okay, enjoy Koh Mook.
Bye.
Bye bye. Okay, that was quite the adventure, but welcome to Koh Mook. This is a very interesting island because it's mainly a fishing village. It's, you know, a local community living here, and they live off the land, they fish, they hunt for crabs and all sorts of delicious things. And there is tourism here. There are a handful of resorts. My subscribers are staying in a fancy one. That's why they're getting a free pickup. And I was supposed to bring my motorbike, but the ferry wasn't running. Hence why we had to take a little longtail boat. The key to traveling southern Thailand in the monsoon rainy season is you need to be flexible. Plans will change a lot. And today the ferry decided it wasn't running for whatever reason. But let me just give you a quick rundown of what Koh Mook is. It's a mountain with a cave inside, and one of the most beautiful caves. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to go in there or not because of the season and the tides. Fingers crossed I can figure that out whilst I'm here. On that side is a spearhead beach with the most incredible palm trees and white sands, and a very fancy resort or two, which my subscribers are staying in. And finally, on the other side where I'm staying, is a bit more of a jungly kind of village and a bit more of a sunset beach where it's a bit more calm and laid back. But this island, you know, it's not a party island. It's not a super luxury resort island. It doesn't have an airport. As you can see, the ferries are coming and going, and the longtails are coming and going. Okay, so I was just flying the drone because I thought to myself, look how beautiful and blue the sky is over there, and it will enable you to show you how beautiful that stretch of the island is, when the sun's out, when it's blue and the sky is amazing and the sand is extra white and the ocean is turquoise, because any second now it's going to rain again. There is a huge storm coming. So I took the opportunity. When the rain stops, that's when you can get the drone out and show off to people how beautiful the island is. Because in about T-minus 10 minutes, this entire island is going to get completely hit by that next wave of rain clouds. I'm not staying here because it's around about 300, 400 USD per night to stay on that one resort. It's obviously got the prime location and they can charge what they want, but it doesn't mean that that beach is out of bounds. You can walk up and down both sides. Let's see if we can track down some kind of transport and get to our hotel. Sadika? Nature Hill. Okay. Is there a taxi or?
That's a taxi you can take.
Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you.
Only 50 baht.
50 บาทครับ All right. สวัสดีครับ Nature Hill 50 บาทนะ Okay, thank you so much. Have a nice day. Hello. Okay, 1 second.
I have motorbike. We have motorbike.
Okay, perfect.
WhatsApp.
Okay.
For me, the iPhone.
Okay, we're in business. Our taxi driver has a WhatsApp QR code. So if I do need to get a whiz across the island, I'll just text him and he'll come and pick me up. 50 baht to go from this side of the island to the other to my hotel. This is the little fishing village, main high street if you want to call it. This is where you can go on fishing trips, go to the little makeshift 7-Eleven, get some local food. There's a little bar here and a little restaurant. Very chilled, very relaxed. That's the centre back there, okay. Little day market. I've been here before, guys, but I just don't remember. I really don't remember. It was so long ago. And I got here and I went on a boat trip and then I left the island and it was all too rushed. Not this time. Really take it easy, slow it down, and experience Koh Mook properly. Everybody knows everybody on an island like this, you know that for sure. Are we here?
Football.
Yeah, Nature Hill, this is us.
Yeah.
Football, my team is Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Chai.
Football look. London, Agreed.
Yeah. Do you like Liverpool, Man U, Chelsea, what? Okay, here we are. Just before the rain.
Nature Hill.
Yes. Thank you. So rare to get a blue note like that in your pocket. Okay, so this place is called Nature Hill Resort. And it looked quite nice and it was affordable. So let me show you. Okay, yeah, that's my fault, sorry. Let me check on my phone, but I don't know how I've booked the wrong day, sorry. I've totally messed up. I've booked this for like 2 weeks' time instead of today. I don't know how I've done that, but the owner said that he thinks he can still put me in the room because it's low season. So hopefully. Have you ever done that before? Have you ever turned up to a hotel and they're like, oh yeah, we have your booking, but not for today, for next week? Okay, 30 minutes later, the room is ready and the storm has literally just finished and we're heading up to my room. What was really cool, however, was as I was just staring at the rain, filming it on my iPhone, I saw a beautiful hornbill fly across and start feeding in one of the trees. So I got my good Sony camera out and wow, I feel like National Geographic. Nailed it. I love a tropical downpour, honestly. As long as you're not like in it, and as long as there's not lightning, it's just so amazing. So beautiful. Come on, cat. You've got a nice double bed with a mosquito net, very much needed. AC, nice balcony, a beautiful view to the jungle, and there's a little path that leads down to the main road. Okay, quite the adventure to get to our hotel room. Let me unpack, hang up my clothes to dry, and then we'll make a plan, and then we'll go out in the afternoon and explore before the next downpour comes. A quick message from my sponsor Airalo, the best place to go for your eSIM package when you travel. For the past 3 years, it doesn't matter where I travel, I always download Airalo and install an eSIM for the country or the region of countries that I'm going to. And Airalo are giving you guys a fantastic discount if you've never used them before. Yes, download Airalo today and you'll get $3 off your first eSIM with my code Paddy3. That's whether you're buying a local eSIM, a regional or a global, my code Paddy3 will get you $3 off your first eSIM with Airalo. It's cheap, it's stress-free, and the second you land, you've already installed it, you toggle it on, and before you even reach the gate, you can connect to your data, send messages back home, let everyone know you're safe, and start making travel plans to get out of the airport and to begin your adventure. Thank you so much to Airalo for sponsoring today's video. Use my code Paddy3, use that link in the description, and download Airalo for free today. Later in the afternoon, after the storms had subsided, I went out for a little walk. Not far from where I'm staying is a place called Charlie Beach, and if I remember correctly, there were some bars and restaurants on the beach that I could go and have a beer and maybe catch a sunset. But I could tell very quickly that this side of the island at this time of year was a ghost town. This side of the island, I don't know why, but I remember coming here and having a beer at sunset. Yeah, everything was shut, but it did give me a chance to scope out the entrance to the Emerald Cave. Where the ocean is hitting the cliffs is the entrance to the cave. You have to swim through the cave to get to the Emerald Cave. And I could just tell with these sea conditions, the waves and the tides, getting on a boat or reaching the entrance to the cave was just not going to be possible. It was just too dangerous. I would now need to find a plan B. Okay, I've made a plan in my head. Oh God. There's so many of these hornbills. Ready? Look. Here's me thinking I spotted a rare endangered species. There are literally 20 of them all around me. One, two on that tree. There's two on that tree. There's one flying right past me. See? Anyway, I've made a plan. I'm going to walk all the way back into town because I'm sweaty and I'm wet. And I feel like, let's just stay out and get more sweaty and more wet and get some steps. Get an early dinner in town and maybe go grab a beer because there's really not much going on this side, as you can see. Southern Thailand will turn you into a bird lover because there's just so many. Anyway, come and join me on my walk into town. So my walk into town was quite interesting. It was about a 30-minute walk and I got to see a part of the island most tourists don't see. Lots of development going on. New homes, new guest houses. There's a large community of people and fishermen who live here, villagers and just the locals who have been here for decades, but there is a clear issue with the waste management in this village. All of the trash just seems to build up around their homes, and I just don't know how they live like this. There's also a little village here. Local people living. Seems run down, like they don't really have much infrastructure or the ability to keep it clean somehow. And I can see why they don't want tourists venturing in this village, because it's just a little bit of an eyesore, to be honest. And then when I arrived into the center of the town itself, I could now see even more of the businesses that were here completely closed, shut for the season, and not a soul knocking around. At this point, I realized maybe Koh Mook, in the rainy season, isn't the best island to visit. But I wasn't going to give up yet. I knew I could find a really interesting experience, create a great memory. I just needed to go around and just ask some more questions. But again, the weather had other plans. With everything shut, including all the restaurants, I texted my subscribers who were staying at the fancy resort, and they invited me to come have dinner with them. I walked through the rain, through the storm, along the beach to their resort, and yes, that evening I had a nice dinner, and we started to brainstorm ideas to how to have fun on an island where seemingly everything was shut and the weather was terrible. And I woke up the next day with a little plan in mind. The first thing we wanted to do was meet at the pier and go dugong spotting. Apparently, the dugongs feed on the seagrass right at the pier. They've even built a tower where you can go up 3 flights of stairs and climb a ladder to look out and search for the dugongs yourself. The local fishermen told us that they come here quite often, feeding on the seagrass right at the pier's edge. But the weather conditions weren't great, the sun glare and the waves, it was probably really difficult to see them, and after half an hour, we gave up. There were a lot of longtails knocking about, so I decided to ask someone because maybe they could take me into the Emerald Cave regardless of the bad conditions. Okay, so I've just spoken to a longtail boat driver. I said, is there any chance you can take me to the cave later today? And he just burst out laughing. He said, no, big wave. So yeah, not much luck. So I decided to pop into the village, try to find a coffee and a local breakfast, and to continue problem solving. We have a breakfast. We have an iced Americano from a coffee machine, proper coffee, and we have a local breakfast. So it's 2 types of beef. Fried beef with garlic, and then the bright red beef is a sweet beef. Obviously it's a very Muslim island, very Muslim part of Thailand, so there won't be any pork. And beef seems to be the meat of choice on Koh Mook. It's delicious. It's exactly what I need. A little pick-me-up, a little smash of protein and some carbs for some energy, for hopefully a good adventure today. I was not planning to leave this island until I could manifest an adventure. Yeah, at this point I was feeling a little bit lost. The hike up to the mountain wasn't worth doing, the cave was closed, the weather was bad, everything in the town was shut, and as I was walking back to my accommodation with the tail between my legs, I saw these 2 gentlemen untangling their fishing nets, and I asked them if I could film their catch and ask them some questions. And then an idea popped into my head. Okay, we're in business. So he goes out at 6 o'clock in the morning, every morning, and he comes back around 9. And he said he would take me out. And I said, oh, I've got no cash. Can I transfer you money? And he was like, no, just come with me, just come with me. So I get to go fishing for crabs with the locals tomorrow morning because they're done already. They want to come in, you know, get the work done early before the storms, before the sun gets super hot. Hello. See, everybody seems to go out. These girls have got some good catch. So that means I can rest assured we're going to have a very local experience, something adventurous, learn something new in a beautiful place with the locals, and hopefully turn this trip back on track. So with a little bit of perseverance, problem solving and creative thinking, couple that with friendly, welcoming locals who are willing to take me fishing, we now have a fun adventure planned for Koh Mook. The rest of the day I just chilled out, caught up on some work, and I got a very early night because I was going to be getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go crab fishing. Morning. Let's go fishing. The following morning it was still dark as I made my way back through the island towards the fishing village. It was low tide and our longtail boat was far out, so I definitely hadn't dressed for the occasion. I think Nikes was the wrong choice. I'll take my shoes off. So it rained all night, but thankfully, even though it's very cloudy, it's not currently raining. I think we're going to that boat all the way over there. And soon enough we arrived at the boat where we had to lift anchor, turn the boat around and push it out and start heading towards the ocean. And apparently I just turned this. Ooh, I'm scared. Voila! We set sail for about 20 minutes. We headed in between the island of Koh and Koh Mook. I was curious to know where they were gonna cast their nets or if they had previously set some traps. I was completely unaware. It turns out they have a pretty interesting system. The three men have three different coloured flags. The flags float in the sea and they are connected to a rock that sinks down to the bottom of the sea. And their net moves and flows with the tides, with the winds, catching crabs and other little fish that swim into it. They don't use bait and they don't have hooks. Here we go. Hey! Straight away there's a crab on the net. It's going to move out of the way a little bit. Each of the fishermen have their own coloured flags, so they know to leave the other flags alone if it doesn't belong to them. They all help each other cast the nets and bring them in, and whatever they catch is theirs once they wrap it up and then take it to the market to sell.
Barbecue food.
Oh yeah? Oh, massive stick. Oh, this is good fun. Oh, he's finished.
Yeah,
Oh, so there is a big heavy rock. Okay, so they anchor it with a big rock. That makes sense. Okay. So yeah, this is how they catch their crabs and catch their food and catch fish to sell at the market and sustain a living during low season. When the tourism is high, these guys take people on island tours and fishing trips and just sightseeing in general, but now that there's nobody here, they rely on fishing for their food and to generate a little bit of income selling it in the markets. We sailed from flag to flag and each time one of the fishermen collected it, wrapped it up and chucked it on top of the boat, and then they brought in the nets. Each time it took around 20 to 25 minutes to pull in all of the nets with the crabs and the fish that they had caught. And there was a few random species of fish that we caught, but mainly we were catching blue swimmer crabs, a delicious delicacy, and it's a great crab to sell at the market. I'll tell you how much money they made later. Each time they had finished pulling in the net, they laid it on top of this tarp and wrapped it up and tied it in a knot and threw it in the back of the boat. At one point, the net brought in a huge jellyfish which had stuck itself to the fisherman's arm, causing him to have quite a few burns and pains on the way home. Battling the elements and the nature is all part and parcel of being a fisherman down here, and it's definitely not an easy day's work. So he was just telling me on the way back that the amount of money that they can make selling this in the market, this guy will make about 300 baht for this net, 700 baht, 900 baht, 900 baht. So that's how much they'll be able to make by selling all that catch down at the market. And after about 3.5 hours, we had made it back to the island where we were going to disembark, and I had a little surprise for them. Oh, that feels nice to give them a little bit of money. Honestly, I don't think I could have posted a video about Koh Mook without these guys, because the Emerald Cave was a bit of a non-event. The weather was mixed and there wasn't really much going on. I'm just going to go back into town now, grab some coffee, get another local breakfast, and figure out a way of getting off this island and where I should go next, because I have no clue. Okay, this company behind me are going to take me over to Koh Kradan, which is another island not far from here. Normally I would join other tourists or join other locals going between the islands, but because it's so quiet and the low season is very much here, as you can tell, I have to go completely on my own. So I'm going to pay 800 baht and head over to Koh Kradan, which is one of the most beautiful islands. Not too bad, huh? But let's see how the conditions are. And so if you'd like to watch my adventure on Koh Kradan, you can do right now by clicking here right now. Thanks for watching.